kwakanga kwakanyorwa pamaletere kwakanga kuino kubwinya zvokuti kunyange navana vaIsraeri vakanga vasingakwanisi kutarisa kubwinya kwechiso chaMozisi kunyange vaipfuura hako. The statement yandiri kuda is that the ministry of death which was written on the stone tables. So this ministry of death is referring to this covenant. So this word which says that the ministry of death, this word are referring to this old covenant. So how come this ministry is being said to be the ministry that brought death, while death have its roots on the beginning? So the situation is that we can read from Romans 5 number 12. This Romans 5 number 12, it reads, Romans 5 number 12, it says, saka zvivi sezvazvakapinda munyika nomunhu mumwe norufu rukapinda nezvivi saizvozvo rufu rwakasvika kuvanhu vose nokuti vose vakatadza. Nokuti murayiro usati wavapo zvivi zvakanga zviri panyika, asi zvivi hazviverengerwi munhu kana kusino murayiro. Asi rufu rwakabata ushe kubva kuna Adhamu kusvikira kuna Kristu, kunyange napakati pavasina kutadza nokudarika kwaAdhamu waiva mufananidzo wakanga achizouya. So with this state we are seeing that before the law the sin was there, but the sin was not counted for men because there was no law. In other words, we see the chapter of Acts 17 number 30, which says that Mwari haana kurangarira kutadza kwakanga kuri panguva yokusaziva. So if there is no law, the people do not know about what to do. So there is forgiveness. There is room for forgiveness, that God forgive the days of unknown. So sezvo Mwari achiregerera vanhu panguva yokusaziva, saka kana pakanga pasina murayiro pakanga pasina kuziva kuti paita chivi. So by the coming of the law is something that shows the sin. The law ndicho chinoratidza kuti chivi chive chivi. So before the law, people were not counted as sinners because the law is the knowledge of sin. So by the coming of the knowledge of sin, people became condemned because they are now sin, having knowledge that they are sin. So, but the reason why the law was given, it was that people should know the way of God. So because of the sinful nature, it was difficult for men to do the will of God, as it was said on Romans 7 number 10, which says that the law that was supposed to give life, I found it giving me death. So we are now need to expose why this law that was supposed to give life is now giving death. So we can see on the chapter of Romans 8 verse number 3, which says, nokuti zvakanga zvisingagonekwi nomurayiro pakushayiwa kwawo simba nekuda kwenyama, Mwari wakatuma mwanakomana wake. So we are seeing the reason why the law has failed. The law has failed because of the sinful nature. So how did God address that sinful nature? We know that we are seeing that all this time there was two things, two sides, which is the side of the law and the side of the sin. So the law failed to address the sin because the sin was backed by the sinful nature. So when Jesus came, he addressed the sinful nature and condemned the sin, so that the righteous requirements of the law is now fulfilled. But it is fulfilled to those which walk on the Spirit of Jesus, that Jesus who defeated the sinful nature, the Spirit of Jesus that condemns the sin. So those who walk with that Spirit, these are the only ones in which the requirements of the law is going to be fulfilled. But without this Spirit which defeats the sin, without this Spirit which condemns the sin, men cannot fulfill the right.